Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm seeing more and more videos of people that are experiencing or telling their story about how they are coming in contact with other beings. Beings that are presenting themselves to be human, but they are shifting their, faces distorted, whatever it is, right? And it'll be for like a few seconds and it'll go back. I found this story and I actually saw her story a few weeks ago and it just stuck with me. I never got around to doing a video and I decided, let me go ahead and finally do that video. I wanted to show y'all this story, this woman telling her story about meeting a guy on a dating app. And this story just stuck with me because, amongst the other stories that I hear about where people are saying they've come into contact with somebody who has shapeshifted, for some reason hers stuck with me because there was more to it. But I'm going to go ahead and play the clip for y'all.
I'm going to tell you a story that I know a lot of people are not going to believe because this story is like freaking crazy. But if you're in the spiritual community, I know you guys are going to believe it. But back in 2017, I was married and my husband passed away tragically. So about 4 years ago, I decided to start getting back into the dating community and see if I could reconnect with somebody after doing all the healing. I went online and I signed up for one of those dating sites and I was, having fun, meeting a lot of nice people, but I wasn't making any connection with anybody because at that time, I was starting to get back into my spiritual point of view in life, and I was trying to figure out things with myself, and I wanted a partner that reflected where I was going with my life. So I found this person, we matched online with this man, and this man was very, very, very good looking, and everything on paper looked great, and I was like, wow, this guy seems like a catch. So we went on our first date, and when I go on dates with people, back then when I used to go on dates, one of the things as being an intuitive person, I like to hug people because I can feel things immediately. So I said, hey, I'm a hugger. He said, well, I'm a little reserved. So he reached out and gave me his hand. The minute I shook his hand felt a little clammy, and immediately I told myself something is different about this person. It just didn't feel right. And something in my body told me run away. But he looked at me. He had big blue eyes. Also, this man was very, very tall, about 6'4", 6'5" feet, very pale. And he looked at me directly and he was like, oh, everything, come in. We're going to have a great time. So we go into the restaurant and I sat across him, and the whole night he was talking, and my mind was just going, what is it? Why, what's going on? I couldn't pinpoint what was wrong with this person, but the whole time I knew something was off. So by the end of the night, I said, hey, buddy, whatever his name was. I can't remember. I know his name, but I'm not going to say it. I was like, hey, I had a really good time, but I don't think things are going to work out. He looked me straight in the eye and said something. And I found myself telling him, well, we're going to see each other next week. Well, so next week, the whole week, I'm just feeling weird, guys. Very, very weird. I'm like, something's just off. But I would try to text him and say, or go on the app, and say, I just couldn't get to do it. I don't know what was happening. So we go on our second date. We go into town and do some walking around. The whole time, I feel like it's weird. It's a weird feeling, like it's not me, but it's me. Like I'm just walking around and I felt very disorientated the whole time I was with this person. Same thing. I finally, at the end of the day, I said, hey, I don't feel very good. I want to go home, but I don't think things are going to work out. I said this to this person. And again, this person convinced me to go on a third date. And the worst part is he convinces me to go and visit him at his place. So a couple of days later, I showed up, and this whole time I'm driving, I'm feeling like run, but at the same time, there was this pull, a huge pull to go see this person. Mind me, third date, I am going to this person's house, and my heart is beating very, very, very hard. And something, I was like, why am I here? Like, am I being hypnotized? Like, what is going on? So I get to his house, and for some reason, he had dirty dishes, and I started doing his dishes. And he comes from behind me, and, he kind of like hugs me. And then I looked at him and I said, something's not right. Can you please tell me what is going on with you? And then he's like, well, okay, let's go talk in the living room. So we go into his living room and we sit down. And guys, he did this. He went like this. Like, he shook. And what I saw, I cannot say on TikTok, but when he shook, his whole face changed. Wow, I can't talk. His whole face changed. I was so scared, guys. I was so scared. I started praying inside. I started claiming the blood of Jesus, and I started asking for help and strength to leave that place. I did everything in my possibility to get off that couch and say, hey, I need to leave. And he said, you are one of a kind. He says, nobody has ever been able to see who I am. And he let me go. So I want you guys to realize that the world is not what you think. The world is not what you think. And I experienced it one-on-one. There are people here who are not people. This is my light. I want to hear if anyone has a story like this, or if you experience something like this, because more of us need to come out and speak the truth about there are people that are amongst us and they are not people. Anyways, I love you. Bye.
I keep trying to say, they live amongst us. They're here. They are presenting themselves. I think that maybe something has to do with, the digital world and the temperature, maybe the sun getting hotter. I don't know. Like, they're making the environment easier for these beings to be able to live in, and they're trying to normalize the masses to be able to accept these beings. They're putting all of this alien stuff in commercials, in movies. They've been doing all of that, right? But now it's more so like they are pushing more information out, allowing people to see this. And the beings themselves are presenting themselves, and I think it's getting harder for them to hold their image of what they've been portraying to us as humans, so they are amongst us. They are here. A lot of them, they can also communicate telepathically, so one thing that I remember hearing from somewhere, they said that the way to tell if somebody has been thinking about you is if you're in a room with somebody and they're not paying any attention to you, right? In your mind, call their name and see if they turn and look at you. And I feel like that could be a way to tell if somebody is able to hear you, like telepathically hear you or something like that. But that's just a side note. That's something that it just came to my mind just now. However, they are amongst us. They have been able to hold their shape. A lot of them are hybrids. A lot of them, it's, just demonic bloodlines. And there's a lot of people that don't believe it. And I think there's a lot of people that don't know that they are it as well. That they don't know that they themselves can do it. But yeah, they are amongst us. More and more people are giving their experiences. They are coming online. They are sharing their stories. I think that it may be, unknowingly a way to, like, normalize it as well. You know what I'm saying? When people go on TikTok and they start sharing their stories, and more and more people are listening to it, and they're just like, what? Now they're looking for it. They're looking for it, or they're able to come out and share their story. That alone may be a way to normalize it. I don't know. I just know that a lot of people are starting to bring forth information or experiences of what they've gone through when it comes to having encounters with other beings. Anyway, let me know in the comments what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.